Hello there.
This handsome man right here is going to do something that legends will be talking about. His name is Lantisnot, and he has one mission: to conquer the world just by using the Sturgeon heroic line breakers. Why? Because, anyway, in this episode, we'll be using just these units, and we're going to see how far we can take them. To start things off, we need to go and get the Sturgeon recruits, because with them, it'll lead into the Sturgeon heroic line breakers, and they can cut off people's toes. After getting the recruits in, we need to level them up with experience by bashing bandits' head in like a melon. Now realizing I don't have enough money to pay a hobo's left slipper, it's time we do some tournaments to get that dollar flowing. Before we actually get into this tournament though, we invest in ourselves to get the best possible price. These tournaments are so dangerous, we just about escape with our lives. After winning all the tournaments and selling all the loot, we have enough money to get more men and cover the costs, so we can melt more bandits just like this. Now that the men have been sorted, we need to get 2 followers to make into caravans. I was lucky enough to get the spice vendor on this run with the sexy 103 trade. That's filthy. Then we recruit the prince, as he is good at roguery, which helps. I'm not entirely sure if roguery is a good alternative, but there you go. Now we have our companions, it's time to set up the caravans. I will start seeing a change in the income and we'll start getting a profit now. After showing off my amazing aim, we take out more bandits and winning more tournaments. We now have the right renown to our clan to now become a mercenary for another faction. Find a king who looks really happy to see me, is more than happy to accept, and now I am a mercenary under the almighty Ragenvad. One thing left to do before I go into battle, and that's recruit a healer whose medicine is beautiful. And as you can see, we are currently at war with Vladia. As I'm at war, the only logical thing to do is to get more men till we hit the 50 mark. Being as nice as I am, I allowed this army with their large dongs to actually take that castle, because that's definitely what just happened. After an endless search, we found our first victims. Yeah, that's beautiful. Some would say that's heroic. I'm so funny. After slapping her units, it's time to take her captive and carry on our merry way. After slapping many more lords and winning many more battles for the glory of the Sturgeon Empire, my clan tier is now level 2, which means I can now become a vassal, which means I have to talk to Mr. Happy again. Also means as well I have more access to more men. After proving I'm an important vassal by defeating more lords in battles and capturing them all, it would be a good idea to join in an army, which was good timing because look at the other army we're about to deal with. I think we might have the edge. After a hard fought battle and a hard-earned win, we only suffered 2 losses. Now we find ourselves sieging Calus's castle. While sieging, we get a vote to go to war with the Bretonnians. Not as if we're at war with any other faction or anything, but we reluctantly accept because in the day we were always going to go to war with them regardless, and I wanted to feel important. Now that we're at war with 2 factions, we need to focus back on this siege, and if we can quickly get to the ladders and set them up, we can get up on the walls before they all set up. We find ourselves at the top of the ladders without anyone there to greet us, so we need to take full advantage. I show some real composure by throwing a random javelin into a wall before proceeding to get absolutely bullied by these guys. After somehow dealing with 4 people on my own, AI was nice enough to let me get some throwing practice in and just standing there. Great AI mechanics. We're doing really well besieging this castle because in they have Superman. So it comes to no surprise that we are victorious. I must have been the star man because I was awarded the castle, which is something I never normally like, but I'll take it. After immediately taking the castle, this happened. There it goes. So in frustration and retaliation, we take it out on this poor castle. And as you can see, it's a very fair fight. So we need to quickly get the ladders up so we can get up there and stop them before they get in position. After having the best fight of all time against this guy, which didn't take about 10 years, we finally kill him and get a foothold of this wall. While fighting this guy, this happens in the top right. Once I deal with these plebs, that is my target. Once I've dealt with the catapult, it's now just to kill the rest of them. So I embrace my inner Kobe. Easy enough win there. We only lost 5 people and we lost 4. Wow. Remember to take all the high-end prisoners because they go for a lot of money. As you can see right here, look at that dollar. Don't forget, obviously, to sell all the stuff you get off them as well. Items like swords, etc. We've also just been awarded a new castle after the castle we just lost. If only just. We'll happily take that. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of everyone in the garrison to save wages. I feel like we can do this because we are in our own territory and it'll be hard for them to take, but it's still a risk. Right, it's payback time because this army, if I'm not mistaken, was the army I took my other castle. Payback time. Okay, I need to ask. How many cavalry? I think maybe somebody's overcompensating for something. After yeeting headfirst into the carnage and whiffing every single hit, the opposition must have been terrified. Easy wins. Tell you what, I completely underestimated these units. It's time to siege again. We all know the drill at this point. Get those ladders up. Really? I was only attacked by 4 people? Well, this was certainly easy, wasn't it? Especially when you don't attack me. Ah. I feel like I ran into a trap, so I did the only thing I could do in this moment. That's hide behind my shield like a little scared kid. After seeing my health in critical condition, I needed a miracle. Then for some strange reason, they all decided to leave me alone except for 2, which made my life very easy. Thankfully, reinforcements have arrived. I tell you what, it's nice to be safe with my army. Oh. I see. After nearly getting my head took off by an arrow, we get the win. I'm starting to see a pattern here. At least we get the castle. Look at that bare dollar. After selling more loot and ransoming more prisoners, we are looking very healthy. Well, that didn't take long, did it? So we need to put them in their place. And I totally forgot I was injured. I was a massive help. Did lose some people, but overall it was a good win. It looks like we're going to make peace with the Vladians, which means we can solely focus on the Bretonnians. And seeing there's a siege going on for one of the main cities in Bretonia, this is my chance. I'm going to join in this siege and have some fun. While the fighting's going on, this happened. And if you don't know what that was the catapults. As we continue to push, it's evidently clear that the guy using the catapults doesn't care which person he takes out of which army. And no, I have no idea how I survived that one. As I'm getting swarmed by 4 people, I can only go in a corner and shield myself for my life, but it only saves me so long until I get bonked on the head. While waiting for this to finally end, I then realise there's one guy left and he's glitched, so I have to retreat in order for me to take out the rest, which is very frustrating. And we do with ease, and now the city is ours. And I wasn't even awarded the city. Why is that? I think it was because I was bonked on the head. As we continue to fight, loot and capture lords to ransom, we get enough money to buy very good armor and give me a better fighting edge, but it did take a massive chunk out my money. After noticing I am now clan tier level 3, it's time to get more people for a bigger and better army. After getting the men in, I think it's time to test them by doing another siege on another castle. Let's hope this goes better than the last siege I did. As I'm going up the ladder, I notice something terrifying. I have no words other than I just pooped my pants. Right, I'm up here now and I have to kill these just for the simple fact that I need new trousers. But at what cost? Then we run into the big Donny himself, whose hat makes him look like a pincer. So we quickly dismantle his army and we get the big daddy himself as a prisoner, which will be very nice. We try to hold as long as we could, but we're seeing that they're actually attacking my castle now, sieging it, so we have to stop them now. This will be a huge test for the heroic line breakers. Never mind. And now it's time to sell our prisoners, except for one. The main one himself. I want to use him as a trophy. Getting a bit lonely now, so it's time to get a wife. Now I have to wait a few more days to speak to her again, so then she can say yes, so that I can have her as an army companion and also to have children, so we all don't die off. So in the meantime, we wait those days out, we do another siege, because I like killing people. That's not weird, is it? Tell you what, the hardest part about the siege was trying to find these ladders in this darkness. Honestly, the resistance was so weak here. This is what I had to contend with, honestly. It was actually just nothing. Like, okay, are my units just the meat shield to this army? It's evidently clear that no one in this army likes me. So guys, I didn't want it anyway. It's not as if we didn't do the most damage to get the castle or anything. It goes to Godin, who I now want to stub his toe. Alright, tell me that this isn't satisfying to watch. Just look at those throwing axes as well. Oh, it's amazing. Right, it's been enough time now. Here's take 2. Let's do this stupid little questionnaire crap. Operation Mrs. Lantersnot is underway. Right, they're that hated the Bretonnians that us and the Aseries are out for blood, so we combine together for the ultimate weapon as we destroy these. This was a very hard-earned fight, a hard-earned win. I tell you what, this might be one of the highest casualties I've seen in a while. this was absolute carnage. I want to cry. Only one thing will make me happy now, and that's actually getting a wife. Let's go for this and get it done. After getting a critical success by using the almighty charm of Lantisnot as the Chad he is, he wins her heart, as you can see by her happy expression. Now we need to go see the leader of the clans so we can get his permission for us to marry her. Oh, of course, that's be the guy who I told to stub his toe. Hey, remember me? I've only taken 1,500 as well, which I thought was really cheap, but... Alright, and now they get married, the wife is there, but one thing I will notice, I did not realise I made Lantisnot so freaking small. If you wonder why I chose her as my wife, well, the stats right here, the skills, just prove why. And then we made peace with Bretonians for no reason, considering the fact we were absolutely battering them, but there you go. And we didn't have to wait long, because now we're at war with the Rebellion of Xenon. Probably led by Princess Douchebag. And now with all the influence we have, it's time to make an army, and it's fair to say I might have gone a little overboard with the power trip. It's fair to say I might have enough men. Only waiting on a few more people, so we decide to siege now and they'll join later on. This is going to be a very fair fight. After showing that I am an actual true god and destroying the rebellion which some other person couldn't do. Alrighty then. One of the more bizarre sieges, but oh well. And that's going to be it, everyone. That is the power of the Sturgeon Heroic Line Breakers. Where would I rank them in this list? Well, first of all, this is a list that we're going to make just for the top tiers of all the units and all the factions, and we're going to put them all in the tiers, going from the very bottom, which is basically the last tier, if literally called if you hate yourself, because let's be honest, if you use any troops at this point which are the very bottom of the barrel, you evidently hate yourself. They were not worth it. We have mare, which is like the classic average, get the job done ones, best the rest, and then we have the demons. And we'll go over all these, but right now we just need to rank where the heroic line breakers will be. And personally, they completely surprised me. I was not expecting them to be as good as what they are. I thought because they didn't have any sort of protection against archers or range units, they had no protection when it came to cavalry, that they were going to struggle. But they surprised me. They're a lot more sturdy than you think. And when it came to one-on-one combat, especially when it came to sieges, they were unbelievable. If I had to say it, I would actually put them in, I would put them in the best of rest, but I think they might be better units. I'm actually going to put them in a high-end, get the job done, which is your classic B. The only reason that they're there is because end of the day, it just comes down to the fact that they are vulnerable to cavalry and archers. If they had some type of like pole arm as a 200 weapon as well to stop cavalry, then end of the day, I put them higher. I really would, but they don't. I do love their throwing axes as well. They do have the throwing axes and they do damage to it, but overall, I would say that is a fair one. They are a lot better. And don't get me wrong, this grade here, which is basically a B, doesn't mean they're bad. They're better than average. They are really strong. Like I said, one-on-one wise, I don't think there's going to be many that will actually compete with these guys. But it's just for the simple fact they are weak to cavalry and range. And if you go against an army of loads of cavalry and loads of range, they will struggle. So for that, they are in the get the job done tier. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you agree with that option or if you don't agree. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you really enjoyed it. This has been an experience and a blast, to be honest. It really has. Put in the comment below who you want me to use next, who you want to see get put on that tier list. I'm all ears. I'm excited to do it. Don't forget everyone to give out a like and subscribe button the manliest that possible. Also, everyone, don't be afraid to leave a cheeky comment. And if you don't, just remember, Lantisnot knows exactly where you live and he'll come for you.